and to additional sources of technological information. So we're going to continue on. I just want you all to see the slide. I'm trying to get a view of the information. Okay, now that's the ToxNet, and it's Toxicology Data Network. Next we have chemical nomenclature and structure, and this is Chem ID Plus, and it contains over 400,000 chemical records. Now, more than 300,000 of those records include chemical structures, and it's searchable by name, synonym, CAS registry number, molecular number, classification code, locator code, structure and or physical properties. And this is Chem ID Plus. And now you want to come to your toxicological data. We're still on this. And so our first one is CCRIS, and it's chemical carcinogenesis. Focus on the slide so you all can see it. So it's chemical, and I'm sorry for the glare. So from the computer screen. Okay, so this is the chemical carcinogenesis research information system, or the CCRIS. And basically, this gives you the test results for over 8,000 chemicals. It's carcinogenicity and mutagenicity tests. So that's the results for over 8,000 chemicals. Next, you have your CPDB, which is the carcinogenic potency database. And it gives the results of 6,540 chronic long-term animal cancer tests. Next, you have your CTD. And the CTD is a comparative toxicogenomics database, which has access to scientific data describing relationships between chemicals, genes, and human diseases. Okay, and next we have GenTox, or GeneTox. And GeneTox is Genetic Toxicology Data Bank, and it's a peer-reviewed genetic toxicology test data for over 3,000 chemicals. Next, you have your HSDB, or Hazardous Substances Data Bank. And this is a peer-reviewed toxicology data for over 5,000 hazardous chemicals. Next, we have HAZMAT. And this is links to jobs and hazardous tasks with occupational diseases and their symptoms. So that's HAZMAT. And next we have Household Products Database. So for things like your average household products, Lysol, or like your floor cleaner Pledge, or like your laundry detergent, you can go to the household products database, and it's going to tell you the potential health effects of chemicals in more than 10,000 common household products. And next we have IRIS, which is the Integrated Risk Information System. And this is a hazard identification and dose response assessment for over 500 chemicals. So this is IRIS. And we have the toxicology data continue. And we got ITER, ITER, which is the International Toxicity Estimates for Risk. And this is risk information for over 600 chemicals from authoritative groups worldwide. Next we have LACMED. And this is the drugs and lactation database. This is for drugs and other chemicals to which breastfeeding mothers may be exposed. So this is LACMED. And TRI, Toxic Release Inventory. It's an annual environmental releases of over 600 toxic chemicals by U.S. facilities. And then last we have ToxMap. And ToxMap is a geographic information system, which is GIS, using maps of the United States to show the amount and location of toxic chemicals released into the environment. So this is your toxicology data. So if you were doing a research report on toxicology, these will be helpful. These databases will be very helpful. And they are peer reviewed, so they are good. Next, you have your toxicology literature. And the first one is ToxLine. So we want to get it where you can see the slide. Okay, so if you can see, I know it's a little foggy, but ToxLine provides bibliographic information, and this is from the 1840s to present, covering the biochemical, pharmacological, physiological, and toxicological effects of drugs and other chemicals. And DART, which is Developmental and Reproductive Toxicology Database, which contains references to reproductive and developmental toxicology literature. And this is just an example of a toxicology monograph, and we have talked about this in classes: the chemical makeup, the effects of the person, And this is the toxicity of engineered nanomaterials. And this was done on May 8th, 2009. This is monograph 038. And it's basically talking about it's the toxicology letters presents new data on the toxicology of typical manufactured nanostructural materials. And it goes on. So this is an example of a monograph. So this is very important because you need to know the chemical makeup, its structure, and the effects on the body and the environment. Next we have toxicology dictionaries. So all of these references, and this is very good for research. So our first one is a dictionary of toxicology, and this is designed as an introduction to the field of toxicology for students and for scientists in other disciplines. Okay, and these entries relate to toxicology, but others provide information that might be needed by toxicologists. Okay, so you're talking about your hazardous chemical desk reference, your toxicological profiles. So this will be found in the Dictionary of Toxicology. And another example of a toxicology dictionary will be the Dictionary of Environmentally Imported Chemicals. And chemicals included appear on 3 of the following regulatory agency lists. You have your American Conference of Governmental Industrial Hygienists, European Community Directives of Dangerous Substances, and German Commission for Investigation of Health Hazard Chemicals. So these are examples of your toxicology dictionaries. And another example is Lewis's Dictionary of Toxicology. And this is alphabetical arrangement, and it contains common terms and definitions used in toxicology, environmental sciences, and many related fields. And you also have cross-references for synonyms and related entries. And this is basically used by researchers and students. So these are some examples of your toxicology dictionaries. Next, you have directories, and this is Direline. And this is a directory of information resources online. And once again, this is maintained by the National Library of Medicine. And you know, we talked about this database a lot in our class. So this is an online annotated directory of organizations, research resources, projects, databases, and other information resources concerned with health and biomedicine from a variety of sources, and that's including federal, state, and local government agencies, also academic and research institutions. And you'll find consumer health related resources and such things as self-help groups. And this can be searched by using MESH. So remember, MESH are medical subject of headings, keywords, or by name or location of a resource. So that's very helpful. Another one directory is Poisoning and Toxicology Handbook. And this is pretty much gives you information on medicinal agents and non-medicinal agents. It provides detailed information on approximately 900 drugs and poisons, including environmental toxins and related special topics and resources. And this also includes lists of U.S. poison control centers and organizations that offer toxicology and teratology information services. So this is a very good research resource. And this is just some examples of toxicology encyclopedias. And we have the Encyclopedia of Toxicology. And it's just pretty much a comprehensive survey of toxicology with approximately 1,150 entries. It provides an introduction to the different areas of toxicology. and it contains history on things